Welcome to day one of the 14-day Business Advisor course. I'm John Tanner, co-founder of the Entrefluencer Training Company and founder of Coleman Tanner Enterprises. And I'll be your guide for this transformational journey. Over the next 14 days, we're going to equip you with everything that you need to become a confident and paid business advisor. Today, we kick things off with a skill that every entrepreneur needs, but most don't have: contingency planning. If you've ever wanted to help small business owners add value to their companies, build your own consulting business with scalable and recurring revenue streams, or if you want to position yourself as a trusted advisor in micro mergers and acquisitions and private equity fund management, then this course is for you. You don't need an Ivy League MBA or an MBA from any university for that matter to do this kind of work. You do need the tools, the language, and the confidence to guide business owners, and that's exactly what we're building here over the next 14 days. Today's presentation is sponsored by Coleman Tanner Consulting, your source for strategic business solutions. Here's what's ahead. Each day, we'll dive into specific advisory services, from contingency planning and business club launches, to debt consulting, to AI-powered business plans, exit strategy design, systems automation, micro M&A and private equity scaling, which I'm very excited about, cash flow optimization, revenue management, do-it-yourself websites, sales funnels, and lead nurturing campaigns, goal setting and accountability, strategic planning, cash flow forecasting, management reporting dashboards, and we're throwing in 2 additional bonus sessions: how to set up a business advisory practice and how to set up a business advisory sales funnel. You'll get practical tools and done-for-you templates so that you can start offering these services immediately. Today's focus for day one is on contingency planning for small business owners. Let's dive in. Welcome to day one, contingency planning for small business owners. By the end of this workshop, you'll be able to explain the importance of contingency planning to your clients. You'll learn how to identify 5 core business risks, and you'll be able to walk your clients through a plug-and-play contingency plan. This will be your first hands-on small business advisory service, and it's a powerful one to start with. Contingency planning is about preparing for the unexpected. It's the process of identifying risks and creating backup strategies so the business can keep operating even during a crisis. For your clients, it could mean the difference between survival and shutting their doors forever. 40% of small businesses never reopen after a major disruption. Most small business owners don't have a plan if their power goes out, if their systems crash, or if their top employee quits. Your job as a business advisor is to give them peace of mind and a practical plan. Contingency planning builds confidence and readiness, both for the owner and for their team. When building a contingency plan, you want to assess risk in 5 key areas: operational, financial, legal and regulatory compliance, personnel, and environmental. We'll break down each of these 5 categories in the next few slides so you can explain them to your clients very clearly. Let's start with operational risk, which is often the most immediate kind of disruption that a business faces. Operational risk arises when the day-to-day systems that keep the business running break down. Internally, inside of the company, this could be a staff member entering the wrong invoice, a poorly designed workflow that delays customer orders, or a point-of-sale system that crashes during business hours. Externally, outside of the company, it could be a power outage that happens down the block, a cyber attack, or a vendor delay that halts production. These kinds of operational risks can cause missed deadlines, lost revenue, angry customers, or even reputational damage. As a business advisor, your goal is to help your clients identify these weak points and build systems, both manual and digital, that can keep the business running even when something breaks. In contingency planning, financial risk focuses on anything that threatens the money side of a business: cash flow shortfalls, unexpected expenses, debt issues, or funding gaps. This risk can arise from poor budgeting, late payments from clients, rising costs, such as tariffs, or high debt levels. External factors like market crashes, interest rate spikes, or economic downturns can also trigger financial risk. If not managed, financial risk can lead to missed payroll, unpaid vendors, or even bankruptcy. To mitigate this, clients need to create cash reserves, they need to monitor their budgets closely, and they should have backup funding options like lines of credit or investor support. Personnel risk involves the people behind the business and what happens when they leave, disengage, or underperform. A key employee quitting, a team member calling out sick during a busy season, or a toxic workplace culture can all trigger major setbacks. Other risks include untrained staff, labor disputes, or hiring the wrong person for the job. In small businesses, especially where one person wears multiple hats, it could mean that their absence will have a huge impact. Good contingency planning means cross training employees, having clear standard operating procedures, and preparing staffing plans. Legal and regulatory compliance risk happens when a business either knowingly or unknowingly breaks the rules. This could involve missing a tax deadline, violating labor laws, or ignoring licensing requirements. Businesses may also face legal risk from contract breaches, data privacy issues, or lawsuits from customers or employees. The consequences: fines, legal fees, revoked licenses, or even a forced shutdown by court order. Business advisors can help their clients stay compliant by keeping key deadlines visible, reviewing their contracts, and building relationships with legal and HR professionals. Environmental risk focuses on the forces outside of human control, like hurricanes, floods, wildfires, or even global pandemics. These events can damage facilities, interrupt supply chains, or prevent customers and staff from showing up. While we can't prevent these events, we can prepare for them by having backup locations, insurance, digital systems, and emergency response protocols. Environmental risks also include long term climate effects that can change business conditions over time. Helping clients assess their geographic vulnerabilities and plan for worst case scenarios is a core part of contingency planning. Let's recap the 5 risk categories. These should become second nature to you as a business advisor. Use these as your checklist when evaluating your client's readiness. You have operational risk, financial risk, personnel risk, legal and regulatory compliance risk, and environmental risk. Remember, most businesses are strong in some areas and blind in others. Your role is to shine a light on the gaps. This is the framework you'll use with your clients to build their contingency plan. Number one, risk identification. Determine what could go wrong. Number two, impact assessment. How serious would it be if one of these things were to happen? Number three, response plan. What should they do next? Number four, resource allocation. Who handles what and with what tools? And number 5, testing and updates. How often is the plan going to be reviewed and tested to ensure that their response plan works? This framework works across all industries, and it positions you as a strategic thinker from day one. Here's 5 tangible tools that you can offer your clients during a contingency planning session: a simple checklist of risks, pre written communication templates, a key contact directory, a backup vendor list, an insurance and finance review worksheet. And one more thing that I want to add that I don't have here, but I'm going to add it right now, is passwords. A passwords binder that you would give to a key person in case you end up in the hospital. These make your service much more concrete and valuable to your business owner clients, especially when these tools are paired with your guidance in a business advisory consultation. Here are some pro tips. Personalize examples to the client's industry. In other words, restaurants face different types of risks than tech startups. So you want to provide some examples of what they would face if they're a restaurant owner, which will be different if from the examples that you would present to a tech startup owner. Focus on critical systems first. What keeps the business running day to day? What would the backup plans need to be to make sure that the business is operational? Offer this as part of an annual strategic review. It gives you an opportunity to get face to face with them once a year to provide them with this analysis. You can also use a tool that I created called a small business improvement plan or a small business improvement matrix, which has 12 key areas to analyze the business and determine by a scale of 1 to 5 how well they're performing and where their weaknesses are. And finally, don't forget to use AI. ChatGPT can help you draft contingency plans in minutes. And I have a tool for you in the workbook, so you can go to the contingency planning section and look at the AI prompt that you can use to start creating your own contingency plans. All right, now we're going to put this lesson into action. Your day one business advisor homework assignment is to, number 1, identify a client or a contact, such as a co-working office manager or a business client that you have already, or a fictitious client if you don't have anyone that you could contact with, just to go through this activity. And you're going to offer them a contingency plan. So the first step is to identify who could benefit from having a contingency plan. And the second step is going to be, you can use the worksheet that's provided in the workbook to build a sample contingency plan for either one of your classmates or a friend or a family member who owns a small business. Or it could be a neighbor or anyone that you reach out to who would appreciate a free contingency plan just to get you some experience and a referral. Not a referral, a testimony. Then the third thing I want you to do is I want you to post your takeaways, your key takeaways, or any questions that you have in the comments section of this video so that other people can learn from it, answer it, I can answer it, and we can learn as a community. So the goal here is to give you some practice using this framework and to help you start thinking like a business advisor. Great work, everyone. Thank you for helping us with this course, with this creation of this content, for completing your first step towards becoming a trusted business advisor, for engaging in the comments, and for doing your homework and taking that next step to becoming a business advisor. For tomorrow, we're going to dive into day 2, which is launching a business club to drive sales. It's going to be a fun and creative way for you to help clients build recurring revenue. Thank you for your attention, and I will see you inside of our next session. Take care and bye for now.